Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of Tent Up, Kettle On. I'm your host Casey and this is a cosy little podcast for solo female campers, anyone thinking about it or just anyone that likes unwinding outdoors with a good brew of course. So this is my new podcast. Welcome everybody. Get yourself a brew, get a blanket, get cosy and enjoy. So basically, I wanted to start this podcast because I am a solo female camper. You'll often find me in my little Euro Hike Sendero 4 tent with my dog Rue. He's a cocker spaniel, and I always have the kettle on or have a brew in hand. So this is basically a warm brewing podcast form. I just wanted to start a podcast for anyone that is a solo female camper or anyone that wants to go camping on their own with other people, whatever that might be, or anyone that just goes camping but sometimes gets a little bit not lonely, but just someone that just wants a little bit of company, whether you're walking the dog, whether you're in bed, whether you're winding down for the evening, pitching your tent up, sat in your tent, whatever you're doing, everyone's welcome here. So the dog has now joined me, but what I was about to say is the reason that I wanted to start this podcast was for people that want to start solo camping but think I can't do that. Because I'm going to be honest, when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, and to be honest, half of the time I still don't. But I used to go camping as a child, and then as I grew up, we just sort of stopped a little bit. We didn't really go, and then sort of one thing led to another. Went to go outdoors, found a tent, and I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna give it a shot. And I bought a tent, and I thought if I don't like it, I'll just sell my tent, and at least I've tried it. But I tried it, and I loved it, and I knew straight away that this was for me. I pitched the tent up on my own for the first time, and I got in there, I got everything settled, and I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. So as you can see, I've got my little lap dog. That's if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching or listening, I should say, on Spotify, then this is my little dog, Rue. He's not that little, he's a cocker spaniel, he's black and white. Head to Facebook or Instagram or TikTok to see a picture of him, but here he is. He is the snuggliest boy, and I can honestly say I wouldn't be solo camping without him because he just makes me feel so safe whilst I'm camping. He's always there, he looks after me. He lets me know if someone's walking past the tent, even if they're just walking past. He lets me know, which for me puts my mind at rest, because in the night when you hear noises and in a tent, some of you may know that in a tent everything seems louder at night. It just puts your mind at rest to have a dog there with you. But yeah, the minute I pitched my tent up was the minute I knew this is for me. And honestly, anyone out there that is just listening thinking I can't do that, you can. And even if you go and you don't enjoy it, try it once, twice. I would always say don't take your first experience as what the experience is going to be, because your first experience may not be the best one. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, most of the time it's me and him just figuring it out, and we just live one day to the next. When you're camping, you don't live by anybody else's rules, and I think that's what I like, especially with solo camping. You're just on your own, figuring it out. You don't have to be on any time frames. You can just wake up that morning and think, what do I want to do today? Do I want to go for a walk, go for a hike, go down the beach, or just stay in the tent and just either watch something that you've downloaded or listen to a podcast or just take in the sights, because some of the pictures can be absolutely stunning. I am a chronic overpacker, so I can't help it. I think it's a comfort thing. Taking the necessities is one thing, then taking what I take is another thing. So I only have a Fit 500, and me, the dog, my tent, my little camping fridge freezer, double blow up airbed, luggage, compactor bag with bedding. The list is endless. Kitchen supplies, tables. I've got a big box with everything in as well. And I do struggle to fit it all in, but for Christmas I did get a roof bag for my car, which I'm very grateful for. So I'm going to try that out soon, and see. Hopefully it fits my car, because we're having a bit of sort of problems with it. We don't know if it's going to fit on my car at the moment, but if not, I'm planning on getting some roof bars so that it will fit. But yeah, I'm very excited for the next camp. As you can see, I'm not in a tent at the moment. This is my bedroom at home. I am West Midlands based in the UK. But yeah, at the moment it is January. Actually, there is actually snow outside today, so it's a little bit cold to be camping. I have been camping in the cold before. I have heaters, heated blankets, everything. But at the moment, I would rather not snow. I would rather not camp in the snow. So we're just going with it. We're figuring it out day by day. I tend to be quite a last minute booker with campsites. There is the odd time, if I know I've got some time coming up that I'm off work, then I'll have a little look and potentially book a campsite. But I do tend to I only work Monday to Thursday, so I will sort of the weekend before think, right, it's going to be a nice weekend this weekend. Where can I go? I'll find a campsite. I'm on lots of solo female camping websites, especially Facebook groups, and that way you know that they are safe for solo, because some campsites can be you feel a little bit on edge, or especially when you're on your own, and as a female you can feel a little bit not safe there. And if that happens, it's absolutely fine to just pack up and go, do you know what, I'm going to go home, I'm not feeling it. And that's okay, you're not failing, that is just life. You just have to put yourself first and trust your gut, because you know best, and you know when something isn't right or something's a little bit off. If you're getting weird vibes, go, it's not a problem, it really isn't. But most of the sites that I go to, I sort of will let the owners know, or let the manager, whoever is in charge, let them know that I am a solo female camper, I am on my own. And they do tend to look out for you a little bit as well, because that was one of the things when I first started solo camping. I sort of I would think to myself, what are other people going to think? Because I'm such a people pleaser and I worry so much about what other people are going to think. And I was so worried. Oh my goodness, what are other people going to think? I'm only 19, so this 19-year-old girl and her dog, they've just rocked up in a Fiat 500. She's got this big tent out the back. How's she going to put that up on her own? And I just thought people were going to laugh at me. And I really did. And some people did. When I told them that I was going camping on my own, some people did laugh at me because they thought that I was never going to do it. Because I have always suffered with anxiety as well. That is one thing about me. I've always suffered with anxiety, and I love being at home, being with my family. And I've never wanted to go to places on my own. So when I decided to do this, people were like, "You in a tent on your own? That's not going to happen." And when I did it for the first time, the feeling, the pride that I had in myself is completely unmatchable. That first solo camp, you wake up that first morning and you just like, I've done it. I can do this, and I'm doing it. And just that feeling of being there, like, okay, I can do this. I am doing this. Let's get the kettle on. Let's go. It's absolutely unmatchable. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea because tent up, kettle on, that's me. I absolutely love a brew. So I've of course got one here, bear with. But yeah, so that's sort of how my solo camping journey started and how everything sort of came about. Um, in regards to sort of the tent I have a Eurohike Sendero 4 tent from Go Outdoors, and I absolutely love the tent. It is green. It's my little. In fact, I don't actually have a name for my tent, and I feel like I should because a lot of people do. But yeah, so I need to. If anyone's got any name ideas, put them in the comments. Drop me a message, drop me a DM, whatever you want to do. I do need some names for my tent, so maybe if I get enough people that let me know any names, then maybe I could do a run through of some of the suggested ones in the next episode. But yeah, so I just love being on my own in the outdoors. There's just something about it. and it's just exploring different parts of the country. I usually go. I've only ever been solo camping in the UK at the moment, but there's something about pitching your tent, looking around, being surrounded by trees and grass, and as well, do you know what? The camping community is beautiful. In fact, I've not had a bad experience yet, touch wood. But most of the camping community are just so lovely, and they can't do enough for you. And do you know what? When they find out that you're on your own, instead of either laughing at you or being like, what are you doing on your own? They actually are immensely proud of you, and they can't do enough for you, and they will constantly ask if you need anything, if you're okay, if you need any help. And there has been times I got to my first solo camp and I had a warning light come up on my car telling me to check my brake lights. And I got there, and sort of my next door neighbours, as I was pitching up, they were lovely. And I said to him, look, I've had this brake light warning thing come up on my car. Is there any way I can just put my foot on the brake and you can just have a little look? Because obviously I can't put my foot on the brake and look at the same time. And do you know what he said? He was like, do you know what? You've asked the right person. I'm a mechanic and I can help you. And he did. And he looked, he was like, no, it's fine. It must just be like a false connection. Rue is eating my notebook. My dog is sat trying to eat my notebook. I do have a notebook in front of me, just with a few points that I wanted to talk about in this episode, because sometimes I will sit down and my brain will go blank. So Rue just decided he was going to try and eat that, bless him. But yeah, you get there and you can kind of judge the situation yourself. And if you think that your neighbours just want to keep themselves to themselves, that's fine, because I do too. But sometimes you get there and you have really genuinely lovely people around you, and they will help you and they will look out for you. And even if you get there and you need something and the people around you aren't like that, there will be someone on that site that when you tell them you are on your own, they will help you, because they just, campers know other campers, and they sort of know what you need, know what's best. So yeah, they will help you and they will look out for you as well, which I think is really lovely. So, a little bit about what this podcast is and what it isn't as well. So, it's mainly targeted at women. Sorry, men. If there's any men here, hello, you're all welcome too. But as a woman, I have those experiences that I can share a little bit more, and they're just a little bit more relatable for women. So, my main target audience will be women. But men, if you're here, hello, I'm sorry, you're also welcome. But it's just for people who want to camp alone but feel a bit nervous, or people who already camp alone just want a little bit of company, want someone to listen to, want someone to chat to. My inbox is always open. Please message me. I love creating connections with other female solo campers. It warms my heart, it really does. But also, it's for people that love the idea of camping, but also just love a comfy mattress and a hot drink. I also like that. And when I tell people what I have in my tent, they go, that's not camping, that's glamping. And it is, but it's all about comfort, and it's about being in the outdoors, but also having those little homely things that just make you feel a little bit better and just making you feel a little bit more at home. You can make your tent whatever you want it to be, and mine is my absolute pride and joy. It is the coziest, comfiest tent ever, and people will walk past and go, "Oh my goodness, I love your setup." I will post a picture on Facebook of my setup as well, so that everyone can see it. Because I know that after listening to this, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I want to see your setup. I want to be nosy." And if you've got a nice setup as well, please put it in the comments, because I love seeing other people's camping setup. And getting ideas off other people as well. But yeah, some episodes will be recorded in my tent when I am out and about camping. I think most of them will probably be here in my little bedroom in Coventry. Just me sat with a brew and the dog on my bed, chatting to you like we're best friends. Yeah, the episodes that are recorded indoors are probably because it's raining sideways outside, and that's just real life. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I am a real person and I live in England. Sometimes the weather can be so unpredictable that I get to a camp and it starts absolutely hammering it down, and I'm like, why am I out here right now? I could be inside in a warm and cozy bed. But you know what? That's part of the fun sometimes, because listening to the rain on the tent, there is just no better feeling or no better sound of rain on the tent, or the sound of a tent zip in the morning. It's just those sounds that just absolutely warm my heart. Like, oh, I just love it. I love the sound of a tent zip in the morning. And like, I'm quite an early riser, especially when I'm camping. So I'll get up, I'll put the kettle on, I'll have a brew, and I'll sit outside most of the time. And you see the campsite start to wake up, and that feeling just absolutely, it makes me my happiest. Like, the feeling of hearing everybody else's tent zips coming up, seeing everybody else emerging from their tent, people going to the toilet block in the morning, and you've got the people that are going, morning, morning. It's just incredible, and it just makes me so happy. And do you know what? Sometimes you just need a smile, and you just look at another camper, give them a little smile and a little sort of wave in the morning, and it's just good. It just makes you feel good, and it's a good start to the day. And then you're like, yeah, do you know what, actually, this solo camping shit, it's actually okay. So going forwards, future episodes, I'm thinking all things solo camping, nerves and safety. Obviously that's what this whole tent up kettle on thing is about. First trips versus where I am now, dog friendly camping, what you should take, what you shouldn't take, what you should be prepared for, because if you've got a dog like mine, if anyone's got Spaniel out there, they can be a little bit crazy. Loneliness versus solitude as well is a very big thing, because they are two very different things, and society likes to make you think that lonely equals sad, and it doesn't, not at all. Sort of the little wins as well in camping, bad weather, confidence, everything like that. And if anyone else has got anything they'd like me to talk about, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to do so. So yeah, the next episode is going to be about my first solo camp. I just wanted this episode to be a little bit of a little introduction, and just sort of for everyone to get to know me, get to know what the podcast is going to be about. But yeah, so the next one's going to be sort of overthinking, overpacking, first tent experience, sort of from a child to solo camping, how to feel safe, a message for people who are unsure, all of that type of stuff. And like I say, if you've got anything else you want me to talk about, please let me know, and I am always open to suggestions. So I think this is going to sort of probably be it for the first episode. I know it's quite a short one, and if anyone is like me, I love listening to a good long podcast. So future episodes will be a little bit longer, but I just wanted this one to be a little bit of an introduction, just to say hello and welcome to the podcast. But yeah, this is your sign. If you are listening to this, get that tent, get it pitched. Maybe not in January in the UK, because we have actually got snow today. But yeah, get a tent, start getting excited about it, because trust me, I am already so excited about my future adventures, and I can't wait to bring you all along with me. So thank you so much for joining me on the very first episode of Tent Up Kettle On. I've been Casey, your host, and I have got my little spaniel co-host with me, Rue. He's just fast asleep at the moment. If you are watching this and you would like to go and follow me on my socials, I would love nothing more for you to get in touch with me, and we can connect. So my socials are at tentupkettleon.pod on Instagram and TikTok, and tentupkettleon on Facebook. So please get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you all, and let me know what you think of this as well, because another reason I wanted to start this whole podcast, I am going to go off on a bit of a tangent, and I do that a lot, so sorry in advance. But yeah, another reason I wanted to start this podcast was because I have looked for solo female camping podcasts for I don't even know how long, and I haven't been able to find one. So I just thought, why not start with myself? Why not sit in my little room, talk to my phone for 20 minutes and see what people think? Because I am so incredibly excited about this journey, and this podcast, and it's been in the making for quite a while, but I've never had the courage to do it, to be honest. I've always been very nervous of what other people are going to think of me, especially people I know. And I was like, do you know what? I went through all that when I first started solo camping, and actually nobody cares. So why not just start my own podcast and see what people think? If nobody watches it, nobody watches it. But I'm hoping to get one episode out per week, hopefully on a Saturday or Sunday, and hopefully as I sort of get used to this and get to know all of this a little bit more, then posting will become a little bit more regular, and I'll have a specific day and time that I release an episode. But yeah, I just want to see what people think. But I've really enjoyed this, and I've really enjoyed chatting to you all. And who knows what could happen with this podcast? Who knows in the future? Maybe I could have guests. Maybe I could, who knows what's going to happen? But I just really do hope it takes off, because I love nothing more than a podcast, and listening to one about solo female camping is brilliant. But Rue's bored of me now, he's left. So I'm going to leave you all too. And like I say, hopefully the next episodes will be a little bit longer. If they're not, they're not. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. I'm just going to sit down with a couple of notes and a brew and just ramble to you all, really. But yeah, for now, thank you so much, everybody. Tent up, kettle on. You'll figure the rest out.